increasing trend of drug addiction among the youth. The increasing trend of drug addiction among the youth is a matter of global concern. The youth all over the world is getting caught in the clutches of drug addiction. One reason for this is the lack of stamina among the youth. The youth nowadays lose their courage very quickly, and they go into depression, and then they get caught in the clutches of drug addiction. There are not one but many reasons for the increasing trend of drug addiction among the youth. In the present times, the youth resort to drug addiction to overcome mental depression due to increasing unemployment. Drug addiction is becoming a fashion among the youth. The biggest mistake of the youth is to consider drug addiction as a fashion by falling into bad company. The youth take drugs in the absence of proper guidance. Taking advantage of the weak thinking of the youth, people involved in the drug trade start motivating them to take drugs. Not only the youth, but also the young women of respectable families are getting addicted to it. The youth who is a victim of drug addiction not only becomes a curse for his family, but the increasing trend of drug addiction is also a stigma for the society and the nation. In such a situation, who will save the youth who are drowning in the pit of drugs? The availability and easy access to drugs has also increased the tendency of drug addiction. The disintegration of joint families has also given more freedom to the youth. For its economic benefit, the media is also not feeling shy in promoting the drug business through advertisements. Along with this, drugs have become easily available due to the increasing influence and network of drug mafias. Apart from this, the youth are also using medicines as drugs in addition to traditional drugs. These medicines are becoming an alternative to drugs. The question arises that who will save the youth who are drowning in the pit of drugs? This video will make you aware of those 5 types of drugs in addition to traditional drugs so that you can know about the effects and consequences of these drugs on your personal health. First of all, the general public also has to understand these effects of drugs. Drugs have a strong effect on our brain due to the chemicals present in different drugs. These chemical interactions affect our way of thinking and our body. For example, someone who abuses illegal drugs may feel physically stressed out, their heart rate may increase. Drug addiction. Regular drug use can lead to addiction, a complex disease. Drug use can change the way the brain works, making it very difficult to quit. Addiction can be managed with medical and behavioral treatments, which are effective in both inpatient and outpatient settings. Neurotransmitters and drug effects. Drugs affect neurotransmitters, brain chemicals that communicate information throughout the brain and body. One important neurotransmitter is dopamine, which controls feelings of pleasure or enjoyment. Drug abuse changes the way the brain releases neurotransmitters like dopamine, leading to addiction. Over time, the brain may need medication to maintain balance. Types of drugs and their effects. There are 5 types of drugs whose consumption is prohibited: marijuana, cocaine, pH and cyclidine, opioids and amphetamines. Marijuana, which is considered the most commonly used illicit drug, is the primary psychoactive ingredient in marijuana. Recreational use of marijuana has mind-altering effects. It affects the parts of the brain responsible for memory, coordination, perception and judgment. Short-term effects may include increased heart rate, slower reaction time, impaired memory and anxiety. Long-term use can lead to addiction and adverse brain changes. Cocaine, also known as blow, coke or snow, is a powerful stimulant. Users inhale cocaine by snorting, swallowing or injecting it. The drug prevents dopamine from being reabsorbed, causing a euphoric high. Short-term effects include increased alertness and attention, while long-term use can lead to tolerance, paranoia and depression. Cocaine use can also cause serious health problems such as heart attacks, strokes and neurological problems. Phencyclidine is a dissociative drug that causes hallucinations and a disconnection from reality. Users inhale pH encyclidine by smoking, snorting, swallowing or injecting it. Short-term effects include euphoria, confusion and loss of balance, while long-term use can cause memory problems, anxiety and suicidal thoughts. Phencyclidine use poses significant hazards in the workplace, especially for safety-sensitive employees. Opioids, which include prescription painkillers and illicit drugs such as heroin, are highly addictive. They affect brain systems, making the user want to use them again and again and becoming increasingly dependent on them. Short-term effects include euphoria and pain relief, while long-term use can lead to tolerance, withdrawal symptoms, and serious health problems. The opioid epidemic has led to widespread addiction and many deaths due to overdose. Amphetamines are stimulants prescribed for conditions such as ADHD, but are often abused. Methamphetamine, or meth, is an illicit form of amphetamine. Short-term effects include increased energy and alertness, while long-term use can cause memory loss, aggression, and severe mood disturbances. Amphetamine abuse can significantly impair workplace performance and safety. Recognize drug abuse and be ready to help. The general public should be aware of the signs and symptoms of drug abuse. This identification and knowledge is important because if you suspect that a colleague has a substance abuse problem, then who to contact. In this way you can help those struggling with drug addiction. Helping a person in trouble is not a legal obligation, but it should be done as a human being considering it as a divine act.